What's up, YouTube? Up here in the shop. So today is gonna be a maintenance day on the skid steer. I ain't done it in a while, so about time. So got it pulled up here in the shop. I had to. First thing I had to do is bend this back out because I couldn't get the cab lifted up. All this right here was bent out pretty good bit, so I went to a tree and tied a chain to it to kind of bend that back out a little bit. Just so I have enough room to swivel this around and lift the cab up. But yeah, the first thing I done, and then I started just taking my air hose and blowing out the engine. As you can see, pretty nasty. But it's got the Yanmar diesel in it. I know it's 110 horse, but I just don't know what all them stuff is. So 2001 model engine. You can kind of see right there what it is. But yeah, this motor's been a real good one. The only thing I've done to it so far was put a new alternator on it, which is right down there. That wasn't too bad to get to. But like I said, today's maintenance day, so I'm gonna go ahead and start draining the oil. I've already got the engine up to temp, just so it'll drain the oil a lot easier. And the oil tube is way down there at the very bottom. It's got a valve I gotta twist, and the valve opens up. And while I'm up here, I guess I can show you where the oil filter is. The oil filter is, see that hose right there with the light shining? Oil filter's right there. You can barely see it. Tip of my finger, that's pretty much where the oil filter is. I can get that from underneath the cab. But the drain hose is down in between here. That's it, sticking out the side of the body there. And hopefully that container there will be big enough to hold all the oil. If not, it's gonna make a big mess. But I can always climb up in there and turn that valve, I guess, turn it off when the container gets so full, and then go dump the container out. This is my little container thing, and it looks like it's pretty much full. Yep, and the line's right here, so I could probably squeeze another couple more gallons in there, and that'd be about it. I'm gonna have to empty that as well. So I guess I'm gonna have to go pull out some of these old 5-gallon buckets I got stuck in the corner of the shop over there, and throw the rest of this oil in there. Another task is I need to figure out if this thing's got a hydraulic screen in one of these main lines or not. I'm not really sure, because the hydraulics has gotten where they just whine a lot. I don't know if it's the filter is just due for the change or what it is, but this is my little kind of like thing to lay on my crawling cars and stuff like that. But yeah, here's all the stuff. Drive motors, lots of big hoses. This was a serious machine back in the day. But I'm gonna look up in my book and see if this thing's got a screen and a hydraulic system somewhere, and see if I can find it. If not, hopefully just replacing that the hydraulic filter, which is way back there. I probably want to take that side panel off just to get that thing turned. I don't know. I'll try it with the filter wrench. But more likely I'm gonna take it. I think last time I tried it, I couldn't get it off, which it really wouldn't do for it anyways, but I was just gonna go ahead and change it. But I fought it for a minute and said, yeah, heck with it, I'll change it next time. But yeah, maybe that might be the reason why the stuff is squealing like crazy. I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, I'm not really educated on how all this hydraulic stuff works. I do know that, you know, all this right here is the levers for the foot control and the hand controls. So that's the whole valve body there. And then I'm not really sure what that right there controls, but looks like it's got a couple little nuts and stuff like that you can take off. It might have a screen in those, I don't really know, but I'm gonna look it up here shortly and see. But I think somebody told me that usually some of these main lines, like these big lines right here going into the valve body and all that, that's probably where that screen's going to be. I'll have to look and see. Yeah. Another thing I need to fix is the turbo, which is right back there. It's got an oil leak on the return line. I need to pull that return line back and see if it's got an O-ring that's bad or something like that on there. Replace that. But yeah, Alright, well, I'm gonna get started on this thing. Start draining some oil. Alright, I'm back. Let's see if I can get my hand flashlight off down in there where I can see better. There's a lot of crud off in there. Bunch of leaves and old junk. Here's the old oil filter. For right now, I want to get that valve turned. I think it's right there. Yeah, that's it right there. Wow. Didn't make that easy, that's for sure. I can just reach my hand off down in there and get it. Oh, there ain't no way. That thing is so far. I can't really get my screwdriver. Or if I can get me a long wrench with and use the closed end as like a hook. All these dang extra hoses and crap so far. The way I can't see nothing. Well, one thing, turning this thing off ain't gonna be fun. Heck, I can't even get off down in there to turn it. It looks like it needs to be flipped towards the side. Alright, so I was able to take some of these little side panels off right here. They go right here down the side. It covers up this whole area right here. But I can see that valve a little better from the outside. Maybe I can reach it a little better. But you can kind of see it. I mean, basically in the middle of the camera, straight back here. So, let me see if I can get the camera set up. Maybe you can kind of watch me grab it up there. My little magnet thing. That is it right so. Yeah, I can barely even reach it right there. If I can grab that wrench I had earlier. I think you gotta kinda like push it towards the back and then over. Something like that. So, towards the back, then over. I'm just taking a good guess at that. There we go. Hey, we got oil coming up. Hopefully y'all seen that. Not really sure how I got oil coming out. So, I think I've got it pressed enough. I don't really know. I'm gonna see if I can get my wrench down in there and push it down a little further just to make sure. Alright, so got the oil drain, and also what I done was I took my jack and put it on the opposite side where it's, because it drains out this side on the left side. So I took my jack, put it on the right side, and kind of lifted up the machine, trying to tip it over to where I can get every bit of the oil I can out of there. As you know, you never know what kind of material is at the bottom of the machine, so you kind of want to drain all that out as much as you can. But I figured I'd film this and kind of show you a little thing I ran up on. So around the oil filter housing, where this part screws into, it was real dirty and everything. So what I'm gonna do is I got some brake clean. This is the big box store, $2 a can, something like that, and a rag. I'm gonna try to spray around it and wipe it clean, get all the dirt and gunk around there. That has a good seal for your oil filter. Another thing too, the filter I took off wasn't exactly the same height. It was just a little bit shorter, about right here. But the threads is the same, the O-ring seal is the same. So I think a little bit more filter ain't gonna hurt nobody. I don't really want to tip it upside down, only because I did put a little bit of oil in there. That way it kind of already has the filter preloaded with a little bit of oil. That way it don't have too much of a dry start when I start it for the first time when replacing the engine oil. So that people I bought this filter from, it does say CarQuest, but they come from a different store that has CarQuest filters. The number should have been was 85334, and they pulled me a 344. So, oh well. But it works. It's a little longer, and actually, I mean, I'm kind of glad it happened because it's a more filter for the machine. So I'm gonna get back here, see if I can get this thing sprayed off, cleaned, wiped down, and then put the oil filter on. And what I did, like I said, I preloaded the oil filter, a little bit of the oil, pour a little bit of oil off down in there. It just kind of soaks your filter that's inside the can, and then you take a little bit of oil, put your finger on dip it down in a little bit of oil, and then wrap around the O-ring there. That way it kind of has a better seal instead of a dry O-ring. So let me get back here, spray this off real quick. Probably not going to see much, but the best I can. Man, magnet strong. Make no sense. So the filter is right here. It's just got a bunch of old crud and junk. And there went my straw from my can. Where'd it go? Oh well. Just gonna go with it. Trying to spray it now real good. Like that. Spray some of my rag here. And just reach in here and just kind of wipe where the filter's got a seal. And I try to wipe a good continuous motion all the way around, and then at the bottom I kind of shake it loose a little bit where it don't get any kind of oil, or not oil, but don't get any kind of crud inside the little ports there. So I'm just going to kind of wipe around just like that. And alrighty. It looks pretty good and clean to me. So get our oil filter. Get this bad boy spun on there. See there, same thread pitch. and you just want to hand tighten it. But as tight as you can get it. I did forget to mention that I did write the engine hours on the bottom of the filter, and I also write them right here where I can see it visibly, so I don't forget when I changed it. And it's kind of worked out where the number kind of faces out, so that way I can kind of go ahead and order my stuff before I get ready to change it for the next time. So now that the number's up, that's pretty cool. So the machine itself has got 3,200 hours on it. I think it's 3,260 hours. Yeah, 3,260. So I'm gonna go ahead and get my pen, which is just a Sharpie, write 3,260 on there. Morning. Hey, boy, what's going on?
How you been?
Just pretty good, man. I'm over here taking some YouTube film, how to maintain a Gehl. So you're on YouTube right now. How you been? I thought I heard something pull up. I wasn't too sure if it just kept going down the road or what.
I was just out and about and riding up this way. You know what? I'm going to get to a city's home.
That's cool, man. So
Be home or out working today.
yeah, I was going to go work some, but I gotta get this thing right here maintained because it's been screaming help for a while. So alright, so I'm gonna go ahead and write 3,260 on here. Hours. Alright. So now I got my number written on my oil filter, the hours and the number is showing, so everything's good to go. Alright, let's keep on working, so I'll catch y'all later. Alright, so started on the hydraulic filters. Forgot that I was actually filming, so I didn't film me taking some of the oil filters off, but the hydraulic filters, they got one for the hydrostatic and one for the hydraulic. So hydrostatic is for the drive motors, and then the hydraulic is for the lift and the tilt for the bucket. So I'm just kind of like looking at my books here on what is what, and I'll see what I've got done so far. So I don't have a whole lot of, I got some tools, but I don't have like, I don't work on this heavy duty stuff all the time, so but now I'm going to, so I'm about to start buying some tools, but I know what to look for now. So what I've done first, took off the side panel right here, that way I could access these two filters over here a lot easier. Well, that's them laying right there. And also took this tire off, just so I can get my hands in there a lot easier. So, took this one right here off. As you can tell, that was pretty easy because it's plain view. But that right there's a booger, that sucker was tight. And it's the biggest filter wrench that I've got. It opens up pretty big, but I mean, the grip was like this, just to get all the way around it. So I had to kind of put my hand, one hand on one hand on the other, and squeeze as hard as I could, and then also try to twist the filter off. I also had to take a hammer and tap that wrench in between here and try to get it in between this metal plate and the filter. And that way I have enough to where I can kind of take both hands and push it that way towards the engine and get the thing to spin out. So I've got it loose. I broke it loose, and I probably got about 2 turns out of it. So it was actually wedged in between here, so I don't think it shouldn't have any resistance now. It should just unscrew. So let's find out. Let's see if we can take this camera here, mount it a little bit sideways. Let's see how much resistance is on this thing now. Hopefully, yeah, good. All right, this is one big filter right here. Let's get this thing right here unscrewed. Slowly but surely. Oh crap. Trying to get in on the starter. Alright. Now we gotta wedge it between that plate right there. Somehow. Without trying to make too big of a mess. What in the world? So it needs to go off down in this hole. And then maybe I could pry it out of there. I wonder if it's got to come up and out from the engine compartment up here. Let's go up there and find out. Let's see. Let's match you right here. So you can kind of see what I'm doing. Here, let's say mine could just come up and out of there like this. But then again, I got that power wire in there, so I really don't want to touch metal on metal. Sparks go flying everywhere, and that won't be good. Yeah, I don't know. Don't have enough room down there. I'm gonna have to just pop that hydraulic line loose and move it out the way first. Which that really ain't be easy either. You gotta squeeze it out through here. Might just have to make a little bit of a mess. I don't know any other way to do it. Get it out. I think I got it. Fall. Stay right there for a minute. Alright. Let's get back out of here because it actually went the other way. Alright, so it looks like I can get it out this way now. Yeah. One big filter. Oh. Alright, so I went ahead and empty that one. That was good and empty. We'll take this one and dump it from there for the recycling place and kind of let that start draining some. There we go. Alright, now I just need to climb the shelf up there and get all my filters down, and I guess I'm gonna, let's see, yeah, it looks pretty good. Not a whole lot of trash in there, but I can kind of try to vacuum some of that stuff out. But yeah, let's get these housings cleaned off and get the filters filled up with some hydraulic oil and screw them back in. Stay tuned. Alright, let's get our filters primed with fluid. Yeah, that ain't easy. Probably in a bucket or something. How about this? This is a 4-inch corrugated coupling, and the filter just so happens to clean it kind of nice. So that will hold that. Hey, that's been now. Alright, she's full of fluid. Let's get her wiped off. I got a little bit on the side here. And let's see if we can get her put in. Alright, so since we had a challenge putting it in there earlier, now it's going to be a challenge putting it back in there. I think what I had to do was lay it sideways like that and try to bring it up in there without dumping too much tractor fluid everywhere. Alright, that worked out pretty good. And then I do need to wipe that area. The housing up there needs to be wiped down real good. Keep it free of contamination. Go ahead and do this one while I got the paper towel in my hand. Get the junk out of there. Okay. Now let's see if we can get this bad boy picked up. Spooning up there. And the weight of this thing with the fluid in there is something else. You're trying to get it started straight. Now everything's kind of oily when it tipped. This makes it even more complicated. Get on there, come on. Yeah, that's not easy. I'm just gonna get my gloves put back on. Alright, so I got my gloves put back on. I'm using the High Flex. These are really nice gloves, perfect for this kind of thing. They got like a grippy feel, or tight on my fingers. I like them a lot. Got them from the place I used to work at. Used to bring home some good ones all the time. Alright, let's see if I can stay picked back up there. Come on, bad boy. Let's go. Get up there. Dang. I think I got a couple threads. Yes. Ugh, my wrist is starting to hurt. Now to get this thing tight on there is going to be the fun part without puncturing a hole in it. A little at a time. kind of like have to pick up on it and spin at the same time. He has to weight this on the threads, don't really spin too freely. I think I'm going to use my strap wrench just to tighten it up. Alright. So I'm going to get some slack in this thing real quick. Then we can pick it up over the filter like so. Now I gotta get the slack back out of it. It's working. Slowly but surely. Looks like it's got a little bit of grease or something on it. Let's see if I can take a little bit of slack with it off the filter and then try to see if I can squeeze it back on there. Come on. Get up there. Here we go. Yeah, it's just got some grease and stuff on it. This thing, wrench, wipe whatever grease got on it, or oil. Spray some more on my rag. So we can clean this thing off so we can get a better grip. This is just not easy to get to at all. You definitely want to tighten, you don't want air getting into the system. That's about as tight as I can get with a strap wrench. It's pretty tight by hand. Hopefully it's tight enough. Alright. Now let's preload this other filter. Got that one done. Let's get us something to lop it off with. The rag we had earlier. This one's a lot easier to get to, so it ain't that big of a deal. Okay. Alright, let's get this thing mounted up here on this one. I've already wiped this one down when I had to wipe the other one down. Tell you what, well, you work up a sweat doing this crap. Oh no. Oh, that's too bad. Riding and everything off on that. Oh well. Alright, it's pretty tight. So let's get our pin and mark our maybe new clean rag too while I'm over here. So I'm gonna say change this at 3260. I'm gonna right along. Right here, 3260 hours. I'm gonna right over here on this other side. That way I can see it from underneath the cab in the front. So change at 3260. 3260. Alright. Walk up here to the front. Tell you what, man, I love this magnet thing with my GoPro. 3260. It looks like a chicken wrote that. I don't care. Yeah, whatever. Good enough. Maybe I make this one into a 2 a little better. Yeah, whatever. Alrighty. So that's our hydraulic system and the oil filter changed. Now, we need to get the air filter out of that box right there and blow it out. I guess instead of blowing the air filter out quite yet, let's go ahead and get this right here buttoned back up. So filters have changed, so let's get our tire back on and we will do the air filter next. Talking about a heavy tire. Yeah, let's put it up. Let's like this down. Yes, it's a beast. That's a 14 by 17 and a half tire. She weighs a whole lot. Turn. Just a little bit. Let them straight up. everywhere. And start all these bad boys. So I forgot to mention the guy that came up earlier. He's a good friend of mine that from work. Had a good gravy job to sit in front of a computer all day watching cars while I worked my tail off right in front of him building cars. All he had to do was maintain the, I don't know, something to do with computers and stuff. He's real smart like that kind of stuff, but when you're real smart like that, you get them kind of jobs. Me, I'm more of a laborer, so I work my tail off, but that's something I enjoy. Alright, well, let's tighten these bad boys up. So this is an 1/16 socket. Let's turn it down to 2. I'm using the DeWalt Impact. This thing is ridiculously strong. I'm going to turn that. Give her a couple of hook-a-doos and that'll be good. Let's get our side plates put on. Alright, so that was a lot of aggravation trying to get that plate in there. It was bent a little bit, and I knew it was going to be a little bit of trouble because I had to white wedge it out of there. But I kind of bent it back to where it should have been. Pretty much had to wedge it back in there. But it is what it is. I got her in there now. So let's get this last sock coming in. Pretty cool how these things come apart. Fairly simple to work on. Let's just dig it in there and getting it done. Just like that. Now all I gotta do is throw my bolts in. Get the plate lined up a little better. I got grease like all over me. These cylinders had a bunch of grease on them. I probably should have pressure washed this thing before I worked on it, but whatever. That was gonna be fun to get to. Kind of don't want to line up. and get the bolt down in there. If I can get this bolt down in there, everything will line up good. Find me a screwdriver. Alright, let's get this bad boy tightened up. Bend these little tabs in. Gotta keep things from being so rattly. Alright, I take the air filter out just to get that bolt put in there easier. She is in rough shape. So let's get this thing blowed out. Go ahead and alright, got the panel back on, so I got the air filters out. Let's see if we can get these things blowed out. Always start from the inside out. Walk out a little bit of excess. Lay that up here right now, out of the way. This is the dirty part. Stay under there, folks. Alright, let's get her button back up. today's maintenance. So I'm done. I'm done maintaining this thing. So we'll move on to the next go around. I'm gonna crank her up and get all the air out of the hydraulic filters and all, and hopefully she don't whine anymore as bad as she did. So let's give her a try. Actually, I was getting ready to close everything up and all that, and I forgot we got the diesel filter, which is right there. And so it's a Wix number 53399, and this is the Parkwest one, which is an 86399. But it looks like a little shorter, which it's just a fuel filter, so it's not too big of a deal. But let's go ahead and preload this one. Yeah, no, I made a mess, but this outside there, and it's just diesel fuel. Whatever. Alright, let's go take this old one off. Not sure if I'm gonna need my filter wrench or not, but I'm gonna go and got it real quick. I know my hands are kind of slippery. Gotta put my gloves on again. Yeah, she's on there. Let's get us something to clean that housing a little bit. Always check your old filters. Make sure they got the O-ring still on there, which that one is. So now we're ready to spin this one on. This one here's already got the fuel already in there. So hopefully it won't be too bad to crank it up. Won't have but just a little bit of air in the system. Alright, now we're done the maintenance. That was just an easy deal. No biggie. Let's get our pen ahead and mark that just to say we did it. I have no second doubts later on. Okay. And this filter right here, you can tell down here, that's just a hydraulic bit filter. I guess it probably doesn't need to be replaced. Cause that right there is kind of like a crankcase bit in a way. When it gets hot, you know, that pressure's got to go somewhere. So let's see if we can get that one taken off. I think I'm going to have to go buy one of them because I'm pretty sure I don't have one of those. Oh yeah. So that one right there is going to be fun to get to, or fun to take off. Yeah. Alright, so I remounted the camera. So y'all can see a little better. Let's see if we can get this thing right here to take off now. Christy. Yeah, I'd say she needs to be changed because that was pretty clogged up. That might have been why my hydraulics was whining, because I couldn't breathe. I think I've already threw it. Napkins in there somewhere. Alright, I'm going to get some numbers pulled off this thing and call around see if I can find anyone. Alright, so that completes our maintenance on the Gehl. I replaced that breather filter for the hydraulic tank, and now she's good to go. So I crank it up and ran it for a little while and shut it back down, check all the fluids, the level of that, and everything looks good. So she's good to go for another 250, maybe even 500 hours. According to the book, it says if you use it a lot, you know, extreme kind of stuff, which pretty much what I do, so it's gonna be 250 hours probably where I'm gonna change it at. So I was at 3260, so you know, let's just say 3,500 hours or so is when I need to change it again. So that's what I'll do. But air filter's blowed out and everything's buttoned back up, good to go. I re-greased all the pins on everything, so everything's ready to rock and roll for another 250 hours. So that completes the service on the Gehl 7800. I think this is a 03 model. It does have a 2001 Yanmar engine in it, but that's probably just, you know, they built so many of them and then they just can't put them in fast enough as the machines are getting built. So 2001 engine with the 2003 machine. Alrighty, y'all have a good one.